Hey guys, sorry about that, but my recorder decided to cut out the feed again. Thankfully, there was more space in it, so it was there. So I went about like what 20, 21, 20, maybe 22 minutes before I forget exactly how long. Um, but sorry I feel tired by the way, but I was just doing something. Tired me out. Thank God for water. Anyways, let's finish the rest of the Money in the Bank review. I was at the ladder match. We only have 3 matches left. This is one of them. Um, Sorry about that. Anyways, the reason why this is my favorite and I think is the best Money in the Bank ladder match, it's just different from all the other ladder matches. As I said in the other video, told several stories, and I'll finish what I was trying to say. Del Rio was back in the Money in the Bank ladder match that he won before. That, with the exception of the world title match that was a couple years ago, he's only ever really been in one Money in the Bank ladder match. So there was that. There was Chris Jericho, who created Money in the Bank but never won it. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn was continuing the little bit rivalry here, which had a great spot, by the way, when Zayn hit the Michinoku driver on Kevin Owens while the ladder was on his side. For a second there, I thought Kevin Owens' back broke. I hope he's gonna feel sore. He probably felt sore this morning, and for his sake, I hope he doesn't wrestle tonight. If he does, it's awesome, but I don't want him to get injured. Anyways, sorry about that. Anyways, and Dean Ambrose, of course, wanting to be involved in the Rollins Reigns feud, and wanting to cash in on either of those guys for the WWE World Heavyweight Title. The only one who didn't have a story going into the match is Cesaro. Sadly, I love Cesaro, but he didn't really have much of a story going into this match. And if rumors are to be believed, Kalisto was supposed to be the 7th man in this match. Looking at how the match played out, I'm kind of glad he was not in it. I mean, yeah, he could have served as another high-flying body, but what made this match so special was the fact that you didn't see all the high-flying spots you normally would. Yeah, you had a couple, but if you recall, in nearly every Money in the Bank ladder match, you always have a really big usually at one really big high spot, and you had that here. But I mean, like, constantly doing like high flying moves, constantly, taking big risks. With the exception of the Raw Money in the Bank ladder match in 2012, the one that Cena won. It wasn't like that, but in that match it was for all the wrong reasons. I mean, yeah, Big Show, Kane, yeah, not a good start. The Miz, again, not a good start. Yeah, Chris Jericho and Cena, that was good, but still, kind of handicapped it a little bit. But in this match, all 6 of these guys are good to great wrestlers. Del Rio is a great wrestler, especially if you saw his Lucha Underground work. Matches with Tejano, Johnny Mundo, a couple other guys. Just really, really solid shit. And it was really, really good. Anyways, this match was different because you didn't have all the high flying that you usually would in these kind of matches. You had great storytelling instead. You still had some moves, don't get me wrong. Owens with the bullfrog splash, but that wasn't from the ladder. It was just from the top rope. You had a couple high spots, like Cesaro bouncing off the ladder, jumping from the ladder on the rope and then hitting his his flying European uppercut. That was awesome. But aside from a couple of those, just a couple high flying spots, you didn't have a lot of high flying. Yeah, okay, you had falling, but you didn't have a lot of high flying. That's what made this match so good, in my opinion, was that it wasn't just about the flying. It wasn't just about the high spots. It was about storytelling. Which I will say, even though there's been some great Money in the Bank ladder matches, what do all of them have in common? All are high spots. Let's face it, so is... And some of you guys might disagree with me, but so was WrestleMania 21. And hell, and so many Money in the Bank ladder matches, you have that sequence where one or two guys are thrown out the ring, then another guy does a dive, then somebody else does a dive, then somebody else does a dive. Like even WrestleMania 21, this happened. Remember when Kane, as awesome as it was, did that dive on all those guys? Yeah. I mean, and how many dives did you see in this match? As far as... Maybe this is just be my mind maybe playing tricks against me because we're going off pure memory here, but just one. There was only one dive. And it was at the very beginning of the match when they were first getting started, and then Dean Ambrose did a dive through the middle ropes. That was it. Maybe Sami Zayn did a dive. I think he did a dive, but other than but you didn't see all that many dives. That part of it's because the other wrestlers aren't guys to do dives. Jericho, Del Rio, Owens, Owens can do a dive, but he has chosen not to because he's a heel. He knows not to do that because that'll make the crowd cheer him. He teased doing a dive when he had Sami Zayn pinned against the side of the ring with a ladder. You think he's gonna climb up the ladder and maybe do the rolling I'm gonna call it a bulldozer, though I forget the bowling ball, I forget what it's called. But instead he just walked around it and gave him a super kick. I love Kevin Owens. Cesaro didn't do a dive, although he's capable. Del Rio, Owens, there's always that one guy I miss. In every match, there's always that one guy. Zayn. Well, Zayn may have done a dive, but yeah, those are the only two people that did a dive. Cesaro, no. Del Rio, no. Jericho, no. See, I always forget somebody. I'm a dumbass. I forget who it is. I definitely named him earlier. I'm an idiot right now. It's just, sorry, another brain fart, but it was just a different kind of match, and in this case, it was good, because you had 6 wrestlers in there who knew how to work. 6 great wrestlers, I might add, who knew how to work. In some ways, I'm glad Kalisto wasn't in it, because even compared to Del Rio, the guy felt left out. The guy felt like he totally did not belong. With Zayn, with Owens, with Jericho, with Ambrose, no. Not even with Del Rio, and not even with Cesaro. He didn't feel at all. He didn't at all feel like a part. Like, he could have been a good high flyer, but that, of course, would have killed the flow of the match. In my opinion. He would have been a great hand, but we don't know whether or not it would have made the match better or worse. Probably just a little bit worse. You don't really need 7 guys in a ladder match. I don't know why WWE do that. But anyways, great match. Dean Ambrose won. Which was the correct choice given what happened later in the night, which I'll get to. Match after this was Titus O'Neil versus Rusev. Tell me, guys. Did anybody care about this match? Well, let me ask more specifically. Did anybody care about Titus O'Neil in this match? Because I cared about Rusev. Speaking of which, first of all, guys, before you can go in the comment section below or ask me on my Ask.fm page, but isn't me Did Rusev lose weight? I don't know why. Maybe it's just me or the tights he's wearing, but he looks leaner. Like he's like a little skinnier. He's not as big as he used to. He's still huge, but he's not as big as he used to be. Have you guys noticed, or is it just me? Anyways, this match, well, not gonna really cut any corners. This match sucked. This match was balls. Match was not that good. It sucked. It was just like a step. It was a couple of steps above dud, but that was about it. Titus O'Neil's not the greatest worker. You got to put him in somewhere who really, really knows how to work. Rusev, as good as he is not that guy. He's not the kind of guy who can do great matches with Titus O'Neil, especially given the time that they were given. They were given about 8 minutes. Not this, and well, although I guess in one sense it was worth it because he went to the ringside and he mocked Titus O'Neil in front of his kids by saying, "Your dad is a loser. Happy Father's Day." I love Rusev. I'm glad Rusev is back to his old self. It took him a year, but at least it took Rusev 1 year to recover from the Cena burial crap and from losing the Cena feud and the whole Lana, Summer Rae, Dolph Ziggler storyline. It took him a year to recover from that. That's how bad it was. But Rusev is back to his old self. Thank God for that. Awesome. Now, to the main event. Okay, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns. This match was awesome. A few people, and a minority, sadly, think this is better than Styles and Cena. I cannot agree. Although I will put it in the same rating as Styles and Cena, 4.5 stars. But I don't think it was really, really good. It was great. It was great, just like Cena and Styles. I just think Cena and Styles had an edge in terms of a storytelling. Because again, with that one, when was the last time we saw John Cena frustrated? We don't see John Cena frustrated in matches. We see him competitive. We see him jokey sometimes. We don't see John Cena get frustrated. That's new. And here, they told a great story. Although they told another great story, a different one, which Roman was basically the heel of the match, and Seth Rollins was the face. Keep in mind, Roman Reigns dominated a good first 10 minutes of that match. Roman Reigns dominated a good portion of that. Great wrestling from both guys. I was worried that Seth Rollins might not retain his wrestling ability after that horrific knee injury in November. In November. But he recovered. First of all, for some reason, his wrestling gear looks awesome. Better than the black ones, better than the white ones. That grayish-looking wrestling gear with the black, Shawn Michaels-looking chaps looks really good. And he really impressed me here. He's back to 100%. He's back to the normal Seth Rollins we know. I'm not quite sure whether or not he's going to be doing any Phoenix Star splashes anytime soon, but let's see how it works out. That was his first big match back, not including any house show matches. This match actually went overtime in the pay-per-view department, and I guess Vince told the pay-per-view, like, look, we're going to go overtime a little bit here. And I'm glad they did, because this was getting late in the show. For a while there, people were debating whether or not Titus and Rusev would just be bumped off the card and put on Raw. Not on the case. And to their credit, they stuck to their guns, and they had a kick-ass main event. They didn't have the 10-minute match that Rollins and Lesnar had last year. They need to have a rematch, by the way. This match was great. Not as good as Cena Styles, just a step below it, but this match was freaking fantastic. Of course, Seth Rollins at one point hit the pedigree. Roman kicked out. Roman hit the spear, but the ref was knocked out. So we had the same bullshit that we usually would have from Michael Cole and the guys, basically saying, "Oh, like Cena beat Styles, but the referee was out." So it's like, yeah, Styles beat Cena, but he didn't really beat Cena. Fuck you, he pinned him 1, 2, 3, so go fuck yourself. Like when the Rock pinned John Cena a few years ago at WrestleMania 28, and like Cena was a little cocky, and even though Rock won, Cole was like, Cena, like, the Rock didn't defeat Cena. Cena defeated himself. Like, fuck you. Who pinned him? 1, 2, 3. Same thing here. I'll bet. Okay, it wasn't nearly as bad because I swear to God, Michael Cole's a Cena nut hugger. But I'll bet you if they go along with this and they make him that comment, it's gonna piss me off. And I haven't watched Raw yet. It's probably on right now, but I don't have the cable for it, so I'll watch it online as soon as I'm done making this video. Now this match had one really, really good spot that I loved. It was when Roman Reigns went for another spear. Seth Rollins jumped in midair, and while Reigns was in midair, Rollins hit him with the pedigree in midair. And like several people, I just thought, okay, that's it. That's the finish of the match. Reigns kicked out. Seth Rollins immediately got up, gave him another pedigree. 1, 2, 3. Rollins is your new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Couple minutes later, we hear Dean Ambrose's music. And a few seconds, like a good 20 seconds later, Ambrose comes up from behind, hits Rollins in the face with the briefcase, cashes it in. Dean Ambrose hits the Dirty Deeds. 1, 2, 3. Dean Ambrose is your new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. I love this. I'm finally glad that Dean Ambrose got his due. It was about damn time. And he made history tonight. He's only the second guy to win the Money in the Bank briefcase and cash it in later that night. The first one being Kane 6 years ago.
I think Brooke was getting sick yesterday.
Yeah, being Kane. Yeah, surprisingly enough, Kane. Nobody saw that one coming. Not by a long shot. Kane. And he won it from Seth Rollins, and a great sense of irony in the sense that Seth Rollins, if you look at their feud, has won almost every single one of their singles matches. To me, this was like WWE's equivalent of like the Raven Tommy Dreamer feud, in the sense that Dreamer kept on losing and losing over and over again. He kept on getting so close, but he kept on losing to Raven. And that was the same with Dean. Hell in a Cell, Money in the Bank last year, Elimination Chamber, SummerSlam, the Raw after SummerSlam 2014. Both of those events from 2014. Payback, I guess, last year, you could say, because it was a Fatal 4-Way match. But still, that match, and I almost forgot, in a span of time of 5 minutes, all 3 members of the Shield were WWE champion. Rollins dropped it to Rollins dropped it to Ambrose. That is history. And with this said, the triple threat, Shield triple threat, has to be at SummerSlam. It could be a WrestleMania rematch, but it has to be at SummerSlam now. You cannot put it on fucking Battleground. They'll get so pissed off if that happens. You cannot put it on a B show. I don't think it's happening at Survivor Series. It's got to happen at SummerSlam. And maybe you can have like a rematch at WrestleMania, because this is a WrestleMania main event. Hell, this is what we predicted this year's WrestleMania main event would be before Rollins got hurt. And it was great. We always knew there was going to be a triple threat between these guys. The Shield was that huge, and so are these guys. So and this is probably the third best cash-in ever, behind Edge and behind Seth Rollins, number 1, Edge number 2. And now Ambrose. So that's it, guys. Great pay-per-view. Not as good as Money in the Bank 2011. That I don't think any Money in the Bank pay-per-view will top it. Not probably. You could say it's not as good as say 2013. Although although honestly, I think this is the second best Money in the Bank pay per view. I love this show. Couple mediocre matches, but let's face it, it's the big matches that we came here to see, and that's what we got. With that said, guys, I give the show a plus. See my ratings of the matches down below. Ask.fm page link down below. Until next time, guys. I will see you later with comparing Kazuchika Okada right now to The Rock 2003. Till then, guys, later.